Like all films, this one has its bad guys too. Let us introduce them. PCBs. What they are, why they're so bad, and how we can defeat them. What are PCBs? PCBs are pollutants, more specifically known as polychlorinated biphenyls. They are highly toxic, long-lasting, over 100 years, and bioaccumulative, and one of the most harmful persistent organic chemicals ever manufactured by man. It took a long time before we became aware that PCBs had a negative impact on the environment. PCB production started in 1929. They were banned in the United States and most Western European countries around 1980, and by the Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants in 2001. Although they're currently banned virtually worldwide, in decades after 1940, they were used on a mass scale in manufacturing, particularly in coolant and hydraulic fluids of old transformers, capacitors, particularly in fluorescent light, double-glazed windows, caulking and other insulating materials, oil-based paints, heat exchangers, cables, vinyl flooring, surface coatings, adhesive and tapes, hydraulic oil, carbonless copy paper, concrete, glues for ceramic tiles, and pesticides. Why are they so harmful? PCBs have proven to be damaging to the environment. They cause immunotoxicity, skin problems, reproductive alterations, and cancer in animals and humans, particularly in marine species such as the common seal, porpoise, whale, and salmon. PCBs are bioaccumulative. Bioaccumulative means that PCBs are passed on to other animals through the food chain until they reach human beings. They are also transmitted through pregnancy and breastfeeding. They can cause cancer and many chronic diseases, specifically due to their influence on the nervous, immune, endocrine, and reproductive systems. PCB degradation is very slow and difficult. PCBs can linger for centuries, polluting the environment and therefore affecting human health and nature for generations to come. However, it should be made perfectly clear that PCBs can be eliminated. This challenge is in our hands. What can we do? We must work together. Together, we can succeed. Governments must work to implement the goals of the Stockholm Convention. This can be done by introducing appropriate legislation which makes it compulsory to identify PCB-containing equipment and replace them by PCB-free alternatives, along with the disposal or elimination of PCB-containing materials as hazardous waste in an environmentally sound manner. NGOs must exert pressure on governments, institutions and companies in their respective countries to take appropriate measures to eliminate PCBs. Industry and scientific institutions should work together towards eliminating stockpiles. There are probably several thousand tons of PCB-containing equipment in countries around the Mediterranean. This equipment must be identified, dismounted, handled as hazardous waste, and delivered to appropriate destructing facilities. And it should be replaced with PCB-free alternatives. The media must spread information in order to raise awareness among the general public, industry, and NGOs. Eliminating PCBs is possible. If we fail to do this, more PCBs will leak out into the environment or end up in landfills where they might burn and create dioxins that are even more toxic than PCBs. In such a case, we'll end up with PCB-contaminated food. Whether this film has a happy ending or not is in our hands. We have to be the good guys.